Alright, the 5th iteration of my premium guide, and I did this 4 times already in the past 1.5 hours, and the video just ends up being way too long. And this is the 3rd time I said it. I'm gonna be cutting it down a little bit. Some guidelines recommend starting with premiums at rank 4, maybe rank 3. Rank 1 and 2 will be mostly ignored. I will glance over some worthy mentions, but in general, rank 1 and 2 are not worth it. Rank 3 has some decent pickups like the F4 and the XP50. But in general, I will be pointing at what you should. And I'm not going to be talking about the ones you shouldn't. I will probably miss some vehicles here and there because I can't. There is too many damn planes in this game. And it took me 15 minutes the first time for US alone. Then it took me 13 minutes. We're down to 8 minutes now. And then we went to 7 minutes. I start to talk too much. It's ending up to be way too long, and I don't have, I can't do it. I can't do it. It's way too much planes in this game. So I'm gonna be cutting it down yet again, and I'm gonna be speed running the entire tech tree. How about that? Rank 1, tech F2A Buffalo, or the F2A here, the non-premium. This here, the P39M0, extremely good. Over here, you got the F4U1A, which is extremely good. Ignore most of the rest. B34 for the bomber, A20 is pretty decent. Don't recommend any of these 3, but they are worthy mentions in terms of some fun and some ground pounding if you're into that. XP50, insanely good plane, but only rank 2, so do keep that in mind for events in the future. Rank 3 here, P63E5, A5, really good. C10, really good. Best pickup will be the D28 here. 5.0 sure, but the performance is definitely worth it. All of this here I don't really recommend, other than these 2 premiums. XP50, definite contender for one of the best pickups in the entire game. Airspan, good guns, good speed, good turn. And it's unique. F4, insanely good plane, and if you like the German one, you will like this thing. But you already have the German one, so why not spend that money on the one you don't already have. For rank 4, P38LO, very good. D30 here, very good. P51H is good, but you will face jets very often. FU4B, very good. But you might see jets here and there. All of this, not really worth it. For the premiums here, get the F2G, no brainer. 8 guys in, even without the sale. And it's a rank 5 or rank 4 premium with a pretty good modifier. Do keep in mind it's almost 12,000 to repair, so that might be the only downside to it. The F7Fs don't eat jets for breakfast, so don't bother picking them up. P47M when it goes on sale, feel free to pick that one up if you like P47s. P38K is a bit on the expensive side when it goes on sale. It is good, but it's not very noob friendly, and the D10 is just insanely good at 4.3. On to rank 5, and this is going a lot quicker already than my previous ones. A5 here, the F80 A5 is good, but you will face SU11s and LA200s almost every game, and you do not want that. All of this is kind of meh, but this thing here, the F25, the F25, very good. Pretty much the best contender in this entire BR bracket. If you want to get the F89s, F89B is good for grinding, is good to be effective in. F89D, a little bit less, infinitely more bullshit because of the rocket pods. But at the end of the day, this one will be more effective for grinding. You can kill ground units, air, and basically everything you point your nose at. For rank 6, F105 would be great, but it's probably going to go up in BR. So I don't really recommend it. For right now, it's also not on sale, so it is whatever. In terms of planes here, F2 is probably going to be the best one. Not the easiest to fly, and it is pretty expensive to repair. So if you die very often without getting a kill, might not be the best pickup for you. F100, definitely no. Other than that, honorable mention, AV8, as well as the AV8A. If it goes on sale, just because of the airspan, you can grind, fly in, shoot 2 missiles off, die, and then still make some money. But again, 15,000 to repair might be too expensive for some of you. And for here, don't really recommend anything. It's rank 7 if you want to grind one out. In terms of modifications for the vehicle, feel free to do so. It's all kind of meh. This is probably in the best place right now with the amount of bounties that you might get. And otherwise the F4E and the F4J are pretty closely matched. And it depends a little bit on your matchmaker. And the F5E, while it's fun in my opinion, right now with all the pulse Dopplers all around, not in the best spot it can be in. On to Germany. Rank 1, Heinkel 100D1, good pickup. BF109E1, very good. Premiums, not really worth it. Over here, premiums, Yak1B is a no-brainer, and if you have the E7, feel free to fly that one as well. Over here, you got the E4, which is the E7 without premium. And here we have the better version, the F1 at a lower BR. Do want to be somewhat trigger disciplined, you only have 16 rounds, but it is an absolute menace of a plane. A1, very good. This is all kind of whatever. On to rank 3. BF109 F4, one of the best 109s in the entire game. Definitely worth talismaning that if you like flying this BR range. And the G2 will trade a little bit of that performance for some firepower and high altitude performance. The F4 will be better on the deck. This one will be better down or at altitude. For the 190s, try to get this one will trade the MGs in, but 4.3 for an A5 is insanely good. And otherwise, get the A5 U12. This is all kind of whatever again. No, 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 no. This one is good. This one is good, but this one is a little bit expensive and you can't get this one anymore. Then we reach rank 4. BF109 G6 is pretty good. Do keep in mind, however, I prefer this one. But again, this one is very good here. Or the D13. You can buy it right now. This one is good for grinding, brainless grinding. You can ground pound, you can farm bombers. You can basically kill whatever you see, but the performance is not the greatest. Other than that here, not much worth noting other than the H1. Insanely good plane, as well as the K4, but again, you're going to be running into, well, Junker 288 teams, and you are going to be against P51Hs and the likes. So not very fun to fly right now, but the H1 is probably the best fighter in terms of performance at the rank 4 slot. Rank 5, a little bit sad. If you want to talisman anything, either the MiG-15 BIS or the G91 R3. And if you are Smeagol time, you can probably talisman this thing, although I don't really recommend it. Then you reach rank 6. MiG-19 is a no-brainer here, but if you are not very good at the game, you are probably not going to do very well in this thing. It is not very easy to fly, but it is absolutely insane if you know how to use it. Rank 7, I don't think this is worth it. There's not much here. If you want to get any with a talisman, this one is the best for grinding. 10.3 gets a pretty solid amount of down tiers right now, making this one the most viable in that respect. These ones are kind of bad. CL-13B honorable mention is pretty fun, but it's a bit like the Spitfire. Everyone will run from you. On the occasional down tier, however, you will absolutely kick the shit in of everyone, but so does the MiG-19. This is a little bit easier, however. Sorry, this one, the F-86K is absolutely one of the worst planes at the entire BR bracket. And then we reach Russia. Get this one for rank 1. The rest is all kind of meh. For this over here, if you have this thing over here, oh, it's not there, sorry. This is all kind of meh. The Chaika is fun to fly. It's a biplane with what, 20 mils. But this is all kind of meh. If you want to get anything at rank 2, get the Yak-1B. And then we arrive at rank 3, where there are some really strong contenders for some of the best premiums in the game. The P29N0, which is not on sale right now, goes on sale at about March, roughly there in spring. And the Yak-9M, which might go on sale next week. Insanely good if it does go on sale. And then you have more of this right here. It's all kind of meh. And there's not much here. Yak-3, definitely the best plane in this thing that's always available. Rank 4, there are some pretty good planes here. The LA7 is pretty damn strong. The rest here, not so much. Yak-3 VK107 is pretty damn good, however. I-225, very strong. Yak-3U, very strong. Yak-9U, very strong. There's a lot here to pick out from, as well as the LA7. So, Yak-9U, Yak-3U, LA7, I-225 are all very good. Other than that, the LA7 Premium, as well as the VK107. And then you reach rank 5. No brainer. Don't even have to think about this for more than 0.1 of a second. Su-11. By far the most busted jet in the game right now. Feel free to pick it up. Not the easiest, and I also just noticed that they give it 40 37s. I thought it had 30. I was pretty sure it had only 30. Looks like they buffed the thing. Other than that, not really a fan of most of these. Most of these are over tiered. MiG-15 Bis is very good. MiG-9 Late is very good because you will be in the team with the Su-11 as well as the LA-200. LA-200 is an insanely good plane right now, but it's an absolute chore to fly for most of us, so I don't really recommend it. This is from one of my biggest regrets. Pretty decent grinder, but right now you're just going to get your shit rocked most of the time. Rank 6. MiG-21S is very good, but it's not on sale and it's not very noob friendly. It's mainly down to the 23mm. So if you can't aim it, you're probably not going to be having a great time in this thing. MiG-19 PT, same deal as the MiG-19S, but with some missiles and 7% more weight. Very good plane, but again, not very easy to fly. Rank 7, no brainer, MiG-23 MLD, but if you have the MLD, you probably don't need the Talisman anymore. Otherwise, for grinding, at least for grinding rank 6, SMT, by far. 10-3 gets a lot of down tiers right now, which would be pretty effective, but at the end of the day, probably best idea is to Talisman this thing, so you can grind 5, 6, as well as 7. On to Great Britain. My most dreaded in terms of grinding. No, there's nothing here. Rank 2, not much. Typhoon, definitely a strong contender. And over here you got the absolutely nothing, just like everywhere else in this BR. The Corsair here is pretty good. It's a little bit worse than the 1A, but it's still a Corsair. But again, skip ranked 1 and 2 altogether. Over here, do not get this thing if you ever get the ability to buy it. It's simply a worse Typhoon Mark 1B late. The difference is that if you were to do this with this plane, turn off all the engine mods, they're gonna be the same. Don't do it. Not worth it. Spitfires are all kind of over-tiered. They are alright. Typhoon is definitely the best in this entire BR bracket. And if you want to get a premium, just get the Mustang. Rank 4. Again, I don't like most of these planes. Hornet is insanely strong, but again, you might run into some jets. In terms of the best Spitfires, you probably want to look at either this thing, if you like overall performance, and the LF9 for some low altitude performance. The Tempest 2 is very fast, and if it fits your playstyle, this is going to be the better of the two. But again, they're both kind of situational. And if you run into a P-51H, both of these will be absolute pain to fly. Seafires, nah. And the premiums here, well, the Wyvern is extremely strong, but it's not on sale right now. It might go on sale next week. And it will be probably one of the better grinders in this entire tree, simply because it's rank 4 with 4.0 with 650 kilometers an hour on the deck. On to rank 5. It's all kind of the same. Swift F7 is pretty good. This one is also very good right now. This gets bullied by Su-11s. This gets bullied by everything that's faster than it. This is a very good grinder, but it's a chore to fly. But if you do like consistency and just dumbass kills, Sea Vixen, I hate recommending it to people. It is very good for grinding. And that's simply because it doesn't matter how bad your aim is, as long as you get a lock off on someone and that it's in range, they are probably going to be dying if they aren't paying attention, which not many people do at this BR. Also, flight performance in terms of speed and acceleration is very, very good. And then this kind of nah, Venom, free Talisman, Hunter, free Talisman, nah, F6, nah, it's all kind of nah. The Scimitar here is very good, as well as the Harrier GR3, but at the end of the day, you're only here for the Phantom, FGR. Probably better off getting this one, because they're basically copy-paste, and with this one you need to grind less vehicles, and the Scimitar is probably going to be the best one in here. Do keep in mind, you don't have a rudder, and it's a bitch to aim. But that's about it. Very good performance, otherwise the GR3. On to Japan. Nah, FU-1A, no-brainer. Key 44 Otsu, very, very strong. And otherwise this one is pretty alright, but this one will just be better in terms of flight performance. E7, also a worthy pickup. J2M2, one of the... J2M2 is very, very good. If you like props, you're gonna like this thing, and if you can't do well in it, it's probably a you problem. Other than that, Key 44s, especially the Hay, 50 cals got buffed for the Japanese, insanely good performance. Rank 3, Key 43, 3, everyone will run from you, but it is very good and pretty fun. A7M2, extremely strong, definitely worth talismaning that one. P51 is good, as well as the A7 M1. M2 will be better, but this one will be premium. So it's a little bit of a trade-off. N1 case, not very much. J2 M3 is still good, but basically the same as the M2 at 5.3. For the key 84s, key 84 Otsu is going to be the best pickup here. This one gets up tier too much, and this one kind of lacks the ornament, and you mostly get into the same matches because this one mostly gets 5.3 matchmaking for the most part. J5N, not very great. Key 83, very good, but if you run into SU11s again, you are not going to be having much fun. This one is more of an acquired taste, and if you like it, it's definitely worth it. J2M4, hell no. I think it got stripped from the market actually, so you don't have to worry about it. The premiums here are not the best. J2M5 is pretty decent. I don't like it because of the way the guns are spread out and the fire rate and everything together. It's just a worse J2M2 in my opinion. But it is a rank 4 premium, and it's probably going to be the best one that you can buy for Golden Eagles here. And otherwise the A6M5 Go is also pretty alright. J7W, please don't. I don't care how much you like it. It's not a great plane. If you like it, you can talisman it of course. But if you think you are going to like it and you haven't flown it yet, wait with this one. Kika is still very strong, but again, SU11 just counter you now, and even then at 7.0 it's still under tiered. Funny how that works. The SU11 should probably be 7.7. This one could be 7.3, maybe 7.0. Right now it's just so compressed that nothing that you put this at will actually rectify it. R2Y2s here are pretty alright, but 7.7 is simply too high. Get the F30, no brainer. This here just kinda all whack. If you want to talisman any of these, get the T2 at 9.7. You will get a lot of down tiers. Or the 10.3. It's a little bit of personal preference, but you just want to get the EJ Kai. And how you do it is up to you really. It's a rough grind here, not gonna lie. China don't really have that much. Kind of has the same vehicles as we already discussed. We got the P36, P40. It's all kind of no. If you want to get any, fly the Key 44. Hey, over here, D30, no brainer. It's the same as the D28, except at a lower BR for whatever reason. The premium, definite no. Key 84 is still a good pickup. L11, no. This is all kind of no, except for the L as well as the P38K. This is basically the P51 D30, and this is very close to the P38 LO in the US Tech tree that I also recommended. Shenyang F5 is pretty good, and you are going to be in a team that is very strong. And other than that, the F30 again, or the MiG-9 late, because you will be on the Russian team. MiG-15 bis is still a strong contender. And then we reach over here, rank 6. This is criminally under tiered, and you will be borderline unstoppable, but you also only got to 23mm and not the best kind of turn rate. This is still a good grinder. Airspawn with magics, I mean, what else can go wrong? But it's a pack vehicle, it's not on sale right now. And again, we're going to be pointing you at the J6A. Over here, I mean, this is all kind of obsolete. I would fly the J7 because it's at least unique. Very boring, I know. Italy. What do you pick? Nothing really. That's the sad part. The 202 is good. And this is all kind of meh. This I haven't flown yet, so I can't actually tell you. For rank 3, this thing is good. These two are great. Rank, keep this in mind, 3.0 for a rank 4 or rank 3. Yeah, it's very good. Almost same flight performance as this, but do keep in mind that this one has much better guns, but it's also 1.3 BL higher than you. And this is kind of no, it's the same deal as with the German line. Rank 4. R205 is decent, G55S is average right now, and that's simply because, well, at 4.3 it was pretty alright, pretty good, because people didn't know how to counter it. At 5.0 everyone runs circles around you. This thing is same deal. 5.7 it was insane, 6.3 it kind of gets bullied by, again, P51Hs. This one is not worth it. G14 is also not very good. G2 is very strong. It's still the G2, but do keep in mind that now with the new matchmaker you will be facing Japan very often, and running into J2Ms in this thing is very, very painful. Still a good pickup for rank 4, probably going to be the best out of the bunch here. Rank 5, Vampire is just insanely good, but 7.7 now, so it's a little bit hit or miss. And the rest here is all just kind of... I don't recommend most of these. Sagittario is good still. But it's too slow and it's very expensive to repair. It's 44,000. Oh shit. Okay, I knew it was expensive, but I didn't know it was that expensive. CL Mark IV, it's lmao, and this is all kind of bad. So if you really want to pick anything, get the Vampire FB52 or the F84G. And then you got this. Well, YS is pretty alright right now. And the F104S depends on your matchmaker. It's either going to be God mode or you're going to be doing absolutely nothing. On to front. Meh. Potest 630 is pretty good. It's a bit of a meme. And the premium, well, you only have one choice, so I don't really need to elaborate on that. The Yak tree here is very, very good. And the rest here is kind of not very good. P63, unfortunately, isn't rank 4 anymore. Otherwise, it would be a very easy pickup. But at 3 or rank 3, it's not that great. This is all outclassed by the Yak tree in the end. And my voice is absolutely dying, so you're probably going to hear me voice crack about 15 times in the last 10 minutes. And this is all kind of meh. The C-Fire is over-tiered. F8, F, no. F4U7. If this thing gets its engine increased, engine power increased, it might be pretty good. And for this, I will actually invite you to fly the 84 over the Narval. And I'm gonna get an angry comment now saying that the Narval is amazing. No, it's not. The flight performance is absolute crap. The only thing it's good at is being at high speed. And you face America very often nowadays. And the FU4B does exactly what you do, but 10 times better. Don't pick this one up if it goes on sale. And then you reach this, kind of a sad, very sad bracket. Best pickup will probably be this thing. But it's all not very great. It's all French. Let's just keep it that way. These are all bad. E10 Darts is going to be your best friend here. And then for here, it's all kind of sad too. It's personal preference. I don't recommend any of those. Sweden actually has some pretty strong vehicles. B18 is very strong. Mokko Moraine is pretty good. VL Mursky is definitely not better than whatever this is. The Fokker, it's slow. It's like a pea shooter with 20 mils. If you like that kind of playstyle, feel free to pick it up. This one is definitely going to be better, but there is a very good plane right down here, which will 100% be on sale next week. The Puro Mursky. Insane plane, one of the best for any BR in the entire game. Very good pickup. B18 is also very strong. These are absolute crap. Don't recommend them. G6 again is pretty alright and definitely the best in this entire line. And otherwise fly the T18B. And you can fly it like an attacker or like a fighter for the most part. And it's going to do a better job than whatever this is going to be doing. Rank 5. What to pick up? J29 is alright. Mostly the guns. And this one as well. A28. It's going to be the same as the Vampire in the Italian tech tree. It's just going to be a little bit too slow because it is over-tiered. And then we reach rank 6. It's all kind of whack. No, I'm not making a video on this mouse. Not going to happen. I was maybe at 9.0, but not anymore. This thing here is the same performance as this thing, but with missiles and the 20 mils. And the J32B, once one of the most busted planes at the BR at 9.0, is now one of the sadder ones at 9.7. Rank 7 speaks for itself. This right now at 10.7 is pretty sad. No countermeasures with pulse Dopplers around. Not even RWR. You are going to be eating shit very often. This one might be a little bit more viable. But at the end of the day, the only thing you are flying right here is this beauty right here. And then on to Israel. Nothing is on sale. And most of it is not very good. Yeah, it's all kind of shit. Get this. I would just tell you to get this actually. So you can grind everything. It's probably going to be the best grinder. This is all kind of bad. The NF13 might be pretty good. I haven't flown it more than 2 games yet. Treated me decently. But this grind is going to be a chore. And it looks like they made the tree as badly as possible. So you wanted to get this thing. So you can grind the Kafir. There you have it. My voice is absolutely dead. Kind of surprised I didn't voice crack. Merry Christmas. See you all in the next one.